Alright kids, we're back on the river again. And we're going to do something that we didn't do in West Branch, and that was this. With my hog mat, I did not run that classifier. My bet is I blew a lot of gold out just because I had too much turbulence in the mats. Even though it looked pretty smooth, I still think it might have been a little too turbulent. So we're going to run it again and see what happens. Today would have been started about an hour ago, but I lost. I didn't lose pieces, I had pieces fail. Namely, a clamp onto the flare. He took a dump. What else was going on? I had some other stuff. Mostly I was dragging my heels, but it's been a ding near half an hour trying to get this clamp to work right. It didn't. I got to call Keen up and order a new one. Again, the life of a prospector. We did get the trommel fixed yesterday. I did post a quickie vid on Michigan's Awesome GPAA on Facebook. But now, it's time to play with this, see if this grizzly or tray, whatever you want to call it, see if it knocks things out for us. It's time to get wet, maybe get a little of that Michigan gold. Let's see what happens. Alright, boys and girls, looks like I'm on my first break. I got a plug I can't break. I'll give you a lesson to this. Alright, this is about a 6 or 8 foot long. See how far? Right there. So we go to top of the header to here. So yeah, I got a plug right there just in front. But that's where it's supposed to be. Tip of the nozzle is like right there. It's hung up, so I gotta stop. So we're gonna stop. Clean this mat out. And then decide whether or not to keep running again. This is what it looks like with this doodad in there. That mother load mat. It almost makes me wish I went straight mother load, but this, I was getting pretty close to a cleanup if that mother load's any indication. Sit him there. Come in. Yeah, this header mat looks 10 times better. This looks 10 times better. I'm going to get it up close, and maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Oh, that's too bad. You pull it out. But this part of the mat, this is supposed to be the part that's loaded up with the heavies. And if the camera ain't showing it, I'm seeing it with my own eye. I got most of the heavies there, and they're right there. Dude, that line right there. So all the heavies are piled up. Alright, then I gotta disconnect that hose and find out what the heck and get back to work. I really should relabel it. I might have just labeled this video The Mistakes of a Newbie Dredger. Because, yeah, my plug up Literally was right at the start of the jet, and it was one flat rock. Thing to watch out for if the visibility is working with you and you're not hogging too hard. Apparently I hogged it too hard because I sucked up a flat guy, and he turned in, and then he went, and that was all it took. You couldn't bust him out with no matter what kind of plungy stick you had. He wasn't leaving. So I did disconnect the hose. You come out, and then I did something different. I went and rechanged my tie up so the head of my dredge wasn't piled in to the bank. That last bit of thunderstorms that blew through, look what it did here. It just ate it all out. So if you get into a place where you got a lot of larger stone, throw a little bit of them boogers up against towards the bank a little bit. It'll help slow this stuff down. Mother Nature does a fantastic job. That's why we always say, do not dredge under the bank. Stay in the low water line. I'm keeping myself a good couple foot off it. This is where my hole is. The water is a bit cloudy. So there's my foot. And there, I got about 4 foot to the edge of the bank. And I don't want to get any closer, because when this creek gets up, boy howdy, she gets up. But now we got her aimed in a different direction. And I should have enough play in my lines that I can move around a little bit if I want. I got about a half a tank of fuel left. We're going to run her out and call it a day. And then hopefully have a really nice reveal. Because man alive, about 90% of all my heavies were up front. So, you can tell by my eyes here, I may have got a little excessive with the suction on the mask in my face. I got a little excited. Anyway, tank's empty. He's got 2 hours on a half tank full throttle. Alright, so before I show you the mat, I wanted to show you a couple of neat stones. This guy right here. This one's not as exciting, but he's got a couple of neat inclusions. And this one, which actually, even though smaller, it's almost like an inverted color pudding stone. So those guys are going home with me, along with this fella. Check out all those worm tubes, man. That's some pretty cool stuff. Alright, so let's take a walk over here. Try not to drop the camera in the water. But he did an abrupt, impromptu shutty. I mean, but that mat don't look too bad. But I ran him dry. If I can get in there. There we go. There's the mother lode mat holding on to the last of the black sand. This guy is plenty. My finger, that's all black sand that flopped up. That's all black sand right here. So for those of you that have a dredge but run straight hog, just in case you think you're running some color right out the end of your tray, get you something like this, some kind of classifier to help break the turbulence down. I ran 2 runs up in West Branch and another one in another place, and it just, yeah, while I had not near as much material, I just felt like I was leaving stuff behind, you know. So trust your gut. Just trust your gut on this one. Today wasn't a bad day. I got a big old rock out. He's over here. I was trying to use him for a seat, and then yeah, current's going just fast enough. See my hole. If I find the hole, I find the rock. There he is. See that big red guy? I lucked out. I finally got everything out from under him. This guy right here, he's a big flatty. He's huge. We'll roll him back in that hole. Right where he came from, he can act like another trap. I got him out. You know how us dredgers are. You see a big rock, gotta move it. Same thing on a dirt plow. Anyway, I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up. I'm gonna get into some dry clothes, and then I'm gonna head back to the Willett Ranch. I'm gonna get me something nice to eat, maybe enjoy an adult beverage. Then we'll try to get y'all a reveal. Alright, so I'm home, and we got it down to the black sand. Holy crap. I got it split into 2 pans. For any of you that have been out in the field with me, I know what you're saying. You know, he's doing it in 14-inch pans. This guy can barely operate a 14-inch pan. We don't even know how he runs a high banker, let alone a dredge. But we cut the piles down, and that's my goal now. I should be able to liberate the gold from this. Oh, I hope I get this done before dark, man, because my back is killing me. I'm learning new things about the 3-inch that I didn't know when I had my 2-inch. Mainly, it runs you more than you run it. Whew. Let's get the panning. Alright, here's the first pan, kids. I'm tickled to death. That's the first one. I won't be doing them both together. This pan that I used here is relatively brand new, but that's a nice chunk right there. Boy, I can't wait to see the other one. Let's get the panning. Alright, here's the second pan. The color might be a little hard to pick out just because I got close to 50. Not bad. So now we know I need to keep that punch plate. And contrary to a lot of watermelons that say dredging's bad for the environment, this is just a small sample of the lead and waste iron / steel that I pulled out of the place I was working at. That doesn't count the glass that I also extracted. Yeah, because you know, apparently the greenies want their kids to walk on glass in a stream bed. But anyway, not bad. 50 colors. It proved a point. Used the dang punch plate on the dredge. Not too bad for just about 1 tank of gas and 3.5 hours of my time. What have you been doing? You gotta get outside. Oh, wait, before I sign off. For those of you that haven't signed up yet, LDMA Camp in Athens is holding a dirt party over the weekend of, let me pull my phone up, according to my calendar, from the 24th through the 29th. So, if you haven't had a chance to get out and turn some dirt, wash rocks or whatever, there's your weekend. It's only 5 days, folks. You can contact Tom at the LDMA camp. I'll put the phone number for the camp at the end of the video. So now, it's getting dark out. I still got an adult beverage to finish. You guys get outside. There's no better place to be.